What's happening, guys? Welcome to Let's Talk Comics, and today I am going to talk about the best of the best books I read last week. Out of all the comic books I read last week, the one who stands out the most, the best one that I read, is Xmen number 34 right here by Jed MacKay and Greg Land. This issue is a spotlight on Juggernaut, and we get a whole lot of really good character moments with Juggernaut. Essentially what happens is this town, Juniper, Pennsylvania, has erected a statue of Bolivar Trask. Well, let me rephrase that. The town itself did not, but a statue has been erected by someone or some people. Overnight, this statue appears of Bolivar Trask, who, if you know anything about him, he is the individual who is responsible for creating the Sentinels, who have killed hundreds and hundreds of mutants. So this statue has appeared in this town, and now people are protesting the statue. And you've got two different sets of talking heads right here. You've got this guy. He says, you know, this is hate. Having this statue up is hate speech. I'm from this town. We don't want a genocidal maniac like Bolivar Trask hanging around our neck because he lived here for a few years. And then you have this lady here who is for the statue being up. She says Bolivar Trask was a controversial man. No one is arguing that, and he dedicated his life to protecting the human race. When did that become a bad thing? So you essentially have these two who are arguing separate, two sides of who are arguing opposite sides of having the statue in. And then the Juggernaut shows up, and he intends to knock the statue down. But as he goes to punch it, this huge force field pops up around it. So the force field is preventing him from destroying the statue. So then we really get into the good stuff right here. We talk about the Juggernaut talks to this cop here. He talks to him about what his role is on the Xmen, how he feels about working with them, the respect he has for Scott Summers, how Scott Summers and being a part of the Xmen helps him, he himself, Juggernaut, to become a better person. You know, and because he can't destroy that statue, it's really, really wearing on Juggernaut. He says, I told Cyclops I'd handle this for him. I got to do what I said. I need to keep my word. And this guy here, who's one of the talking heads, he says, you're the Juggernaut. You're the one human on the Xmen. You're a reformed supervillain. Hell, you're Charles Xavier's stepbrother. You've got something to prove. I get it. He says, how do you get it? And he says, I'm trying to do the same thing. So now we just have, he said, you just have conversation between them about trying to become a better person, about trying to, you know, not let your past define you. And then we have the other party involved. The lady here, she shows up and she starts talking to Juggernaut. I've never suffered any harm from a mutant. I don't think I've ever even met one. This isn't personal for me, Mr. Marco. My stance is predicated on one simple statement that I understand is absolute truth. Magneto was right. There is them and there is us. One will be the future and one will live only in the past. That's it. That's all there is to it. Magneto had the clarity of vision that we, the human race, need to learn. And then Juggernaut says, I know Magneto, we eat dinner together. He'd tell you that that line of thinking is out of date. And she basically tells him there's going to come a time that mutants and humans will have to fight, and that you'll never be one of them, you'll always be one of us. Which Juggernaut takes really incredible offense to that, tells her to shut up. So I really enjoyed this issue here. I thought it had some really good character moments with Juggernaut, being the fact that he is human, that he is a reformed supervillain, and that for most of his life he is the type of character who always has someone kind of doing the thinking for him, and now Scott Summers is that type of character. But then at the end, Cyclops and Magic show up. Cyclops tells Juggernaut he's not disappointed in him for not being able to destroy the statue. Mission parameters have changed. We'll have to deal with this force field later. And then it kind of just ends right there. But I really, like I said, I really dug this issue. You know, the idea of uncomfortable statues being in town, being statues that have a uncomfortable history, you know, has kind of been in the news front over the last handful of years, and they're kind of partly addressing it here in this X-Men story, along with some character work for Kane Marco, the Juggernaut, as the human who is a human on a group of all mutants. So X-Men number 34 is my favorite issue out of everything I read, and highly recommend it. Very good character work stuff here. So till next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day, and bye-bye.